Show. It's early in the morning. It's ABT Pro. Hey, I have nothing to say, but I'm used to blogging a vlog a day. So, what can I say? I really have nothing to say today. It's early. It's getting cool. I got my new long johns on. You know how I feel. I'm putting the long johns on. Really happy about that. Like, I still got to get in the bath. What? Doing my business, doing paperwork. That's good. Except you don't enjoy paperwork. Except I'm learning to enjoy it. I do want to say I like the initiatives that President Obama is putting forth right now to, this is something I wanted to say. I'm surprised I'm going to say it now. But I like the initiatives that President Obama is doing to better the school system. And then there was a guy from Facebook, the guy who owns Facebook, donated $100 million to the school system. So, it's pretty amazing when you have a president that wants to invest money in the school system, and he seems to get a lot of static, or there's some kind of, rhetoric about, he's doing something irresponsible with money to some degree. When you have a young, innovative person that creates $1 billion business on his own in America, the American dream, what we're all about, and then feel it high priority or a significant thing to do, would be to take a portion of that money, $100 million, and reinvest it, and basically do the same thing privately as a top business owner as the government should, or would do. I think that pretty much explains it all as far as how significant it is that we reinvest in our culture and our youth and in our future, and the root of our country, our enterprise, our society, and everything else. And so it amazes me that anybody, what's getting me is like our president, the Republicans are spending so much time with this adverse campaign, and he's not even halfway through his presidency. See, I'm like, is it over already? That's how much energy the Republican Party is taking and putting will we take back the House? You shouldn't have had it in the first place. Obviously, from what you did. 15, 30 years, the guy who is running for speaker now, he's been in his place for 20 years. If he was in place 20 years ago, and this is what we were left with, he should stop saying that he was there 20 years ago. This is why we have this problem. So anyway, my point is that that's not my point. Okay, my point is that, I know we could point the fingers at other people. We could look for a guy who has done the right thing, who has innovated on his own and has created a $1 billion business. My dad even mentioned it to me. That's why I'm doing it. Matter of fact, I showed my dad my iPad the other day. And he actually, the new technology, they're scared of it. I had to actually show him how easy it is to type on it. And so he was afraid to do that. That's basically, I used to train lots of older people in New York. And I know that is a fear factor. So, they're like, I have a mouse here, and they're like afraid to touch on. I'm like, they're like talking about it. So what do you do? And they're like, so what do you do? How do you make this work? And, they're heads of businesses. They've developed themselves on, they've developed business, they're head of their business, but yet they have to come down and learn this new technology if they want to stay in business. So these are people that I've trained for, most of my young adult life, and then to have somebody younger come in showing you, somebody that you would consider to be your junior, come and teach a senior person, they have this kind of, I don't ever want to present myself as knowing something that you don't, or not knowing something that you know, kind of mentality. They're ashamed to, or they feel, they don't want to be on that level. They have that ego. So I've seen people have talked and said, so how do you try to do this? How do you, they're talking about where I'm trying to teach them how to use a computer, and they want to sit there and discuss it for an hour. And it dawned on me that this person is afraid. And so I literally had to take their hand and put it on the mouse and was like, okay, no, it's easy. Just, first force them to touch the technology. And so, and I mean, I've had all kinds of situations where, it's like, okay, they've asked me, how do you make the mouse move? And, actually try to move the monitor. But that's okay, because you don't know it's new technology, and you have to understand that in their generation, computers, and even ours, we're there's movies that computers will take over the world, and they will control your mind and stuff like that. And there are concerns, but it mostly has to do with greed and money making people, trying to just, surveillance, And so anyway, so basically, they've grown up with stories that were about that. So they were very fearful of that kind of stuff. So you can kind of understand, but my father even mentioned this. I mean, when it comes to the money, like the guy making giving away $100 million. So my father will always look at me as, as the artist, and the artists don't make money. He's like, now that I'm into computers, he's like, total role reversal is telling me, oh, why don't you make $1 billion? I'm like, Dad, I thought you said I was supposed to be broke. But so it's quite fascinating. It's very good to see this kind of thing that even he recognizes that. But that's the thing. I have a lot of groups and discussion groups that talk about learning new technology, and this is what I wasn't talking about anybody in particular. I was just talking in general that you have people who say that they don't want to learn, that their job is obsolete, their job is going overseas, they're waiting for somebody to give them $100 million, and yet they won't take the time, or they're tired of defending the president when they won't do what is needed to defend their own career goal and their own future and their own situation. When you won't go and say, oh, I don't want to learn. When I first came back here, I had members of my family tell me, I don't want to learn nothing else. I don't want to learn computers. My age, I shouldn't say members of my family, but people I know that are my age telling me I don't want to learn something new. So, it's not about defending the presidency, the plan. America has done always what America has done. This is not some new deal. For America, for us to have it right, and then things all of a sudden go wrong, there's something wrong going on. That's the thing you stop doing or removing. And that was the Republican Party. That was a speaker that was there 12 years ago when things were going wrong and didn't speak. So anyway, my point is America. So, okay, we have one forerunner, and not everybody's going to make $100 million to give away. But it's not bad, if they do. It's not bad if the president does. It's not bad if the governor, I'm sitting here with brand new equipment because I was willing to relearn. That's my testimony. I give God the glory, because things fell in line. But if I could do it at 40, I'm 48 now. I didn't know this stuff 8 years ago, and I learned it on my own without a school. I have a couple of employees now. They're doing good. I help other people. You know, you know. I try to distribute. I still got a long ways to go, and I got things to do and stuff like that. But so my point is get off your duff. Do something. Do something. Okay, obviously, when you see one guy that could do that, that can tell you that other people. And so what the president is trying to do is redo what went wrong when the Bush administration said no art in school, no music in school, no creative thinking in school, no innovation in school. The president, I'll say this, and the president did one really smart thing, and he does it all the time. And I didn't understand it fully, but I understand innovation comes from Facebook people. The guy who is sitting there tinkering something, and they have great, grand ideas to make things work. And new ways, because they're not encumbered by the old way of doing stuff. Like in that movie, they say, it's hard to fill a cup. In Avatar, it's hard to fill a cup that's already with new information that's already full. Christ would say, don't put old wine in new wines, new wine in old wine skins, so to speak. So my point is that the president used to say, the president would say, anybody who has a good solution to fix the problem, we're listening to it. The other day, I'm really happy because I came up with a solution to handle my production log. I came up with an excellent solution. There was some written information. I came up with a new solution and a new tool. I would love to share it, but I don't think that is good. Since I was using it to help with my client, so I can't put that, but it's a good tool to help it, and it simplifies the process, and it's going to help me when I go on to my film work and stuff like that I'm going to be doing with my new system and ABT Films, which I am prepared for. It's like I'm making sacrifices to do. So sorry for the long lecture, sorry for the long lecture, but that's what we're talking about. America, new ideas, new innovation, creativity. God bless my father, and I appreciate everything that he's always done. But I was sitting with Dad, and I said, I made him breakfast yesterday, and I sat with him. I'll make him breakfast, but sometimes I don't sit with him, but I sat with him. And my father was a foreman in generally most of the things he done. I'm pretty much innovative, and I'm self-motivated, and I pretty much have been managers or some other type of leadership position in most of the work that I've done. And so I said to him, Dad, when I usually, any job I go to, I can step in as a regular and trying to get a regular job, and I wind up in a manager position. And he says, well, I'm the same way. You probably got it from me, And I said, you're probably right, Dad. But he has an older way of doing things. And so his mentality is like a no kind of mentality. You can't do this, you can't do that, or there's some hitch to it. It's kind of like a little bit of a Doubting Thomas. But in a way, it's sort of like on your P's and Q's, so I kind of appreciate it more, it's just to be mindful, because you have a lot of naysayers, and you got a lot of people trying to pull tricks or run a spin or running their game, and it's the same old game and it don't work. So you got to be aware of these games that people play, and you got to be like no when it comes to that game. But when it comes to innovation and creativity, it falls short. And so you can't have a no, no, no mentality. And that's what the Republican Party mentality is. You have a yes we can mentality, which is what I basically lived off all my life in every situation that I had to do to get anywhere in my life. As I had to have a yes we can, I do mentality, I will mentality. And yes we will mentality, as opposed to a no, 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 we won't, no, 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 we can't Republican mentality. Okay, it's way long. But that's what they say. They're the party of no. Can you imagine? That's what they said. The dude at Facebook said. The dude at Facebook said, no, no, no. No, I mean, they said that he went to sell his Facebook, and the people told him, no, no, no. And he went on and did it anyway. My father even said that. So what he was telling me is like, all the times I told you, no, no, no. Just, it's good that you're stubborn enough to say, yes, I will. Yes, I can, and yes, I will. It's really bad that they're sitting halfway through his. They're not even trying. They're talking about not reelecting him when his stuff is already, it's already working. I mean, first thing, he stopped the crap that y'all doing, that y'all did. And anyway, I should let this go on to 20 minutes, but I got paperwork to do. And like I say, innovation, it's, when you put something behind you that a problem is solved, when you've got problems that are solved and it's like, okay, I solved the problem, but now I have to implement it. I've solved it. This was always a problem. Okay, we just solved the problem. Now we got to put it in play. ABT Pro, y'all. Have a great day. God bless you all. Love you all. Bye.